Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories. And if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. Well, let's crack on with today's first story. Much love, guys. Now, today's first story comes from T-Friend Husband from the Am I the Arsehole Here subreddit and says, Am I the Arsehole Here? My best friend and husband suddenly stopped talking to each other. Something weird is happening between my husband and my best friend Dana, and I don't know if my head is just making up stories or their actions are really suspicious. My husband Phil and I are married for 4 years and are both in our early 30s. He loves me a lot, but sometimes I've caught him lying to protect my feelings, which I do not really like. Dana is my best friend since college and we were roommates. Just to give some background about Dana. She was in a long-term relationship with her boyfriend for 3 years, but they broke up last year. He was also very insecure about Dana and was very controlling about who Dana hangs out with. Dana's boyfriend was really jealous of Phil for some reason, and they would avoid hanging out with us. However, since the breakup, Dana and I have been closer and spend a lot of time shopping, going out to restaurants, etc. Phil also loves to tag along with us occasionally, but not always. Phil and Dana also get along well, and Dana has told me that if I find another Phil, I need to set up a blind date between them ASAP. 1 month ago, Phil, Dana and I had planned to go to a concert in our town. Phil was really excited as it was one of his favorite bands. I started feeling unwell until the morning of the concert and just wanted to rest. Phil was disappointed but told me that we can offer our tickets to our friends, and we can see the band some other time. I didn't really want to spoil it for him, so I called a few of my friends, and my friend Jess, mutual friend with Dana, was happy to go to the concert in my place. Phil still wanted to cancel, but I insisted he went as I would have felt bad if he missed the concert. They all went together and enjoyed the concert. Phil kept on sending me photos all through the night. The concert ended at 11 p.m, but I slept before that due to my medication. When I woke up in the morning, I was alone in bed. I quickly checked my messages and Phil's last message was at 11 p.m, saying they are leaving the concert, and he should be home soon after dropping Dana. I went to the living room and Phil was sleeping on the sofa in the same clothes he wore to the concert. I waited for him to get up. I asked him about the night and when he returned home. He said that he came back home between 2 to 3 a.m. He said that there were multiple accidents outside the concert venue and the traffic was horrible. He said he dropped Dana at her place and came home directly. I asked him why he was sleeping on the sofa, and he told me that he did not want to disturb me, and also was too tired to change out of his clothes. Phil had some glitter on his clothes, but that was from dancing in the crowd at the concert. So he just crashed on the sofa and slept immediately. It seemed plausible, and Dana also confirmed the story. However, the weird behavior started after this night. Firstly, Phil stopped tagging along with me when I was hanging out with Dana. He would come up with the most unbelievable reasons to avoid going out with me when Dana was there. Phil has also been a bit aloof with me since that night, and I have noticed him spending a lot more time in his home office playing video games at night, instead of coming to bed. 2 weeks ago, I invited Dana to our house for drinks after we went out for shopping, and she also started giving me reasons to avoid coming to our place. Dana had not visited our place since that day. The only time Phil and Dana saw each other was during a house party at my friend's place last weekend. I was observing their behavior, and they were both avoiding each other. I asked Phil about why he's avoiding Dana, and he said that it's just in my imagination. Dana also said the same, but then starts giving me bullshit reasons for not coming over to our apartment. I feel in my gut that their behavior is suspicious, but I'm not sure if it's just my insecurity. How do I know what is going on? I've gone through Phil's phone multiple times, but the only messages between him and Dana are very sparse, and there's no messages since that night. I feel something happened between them that night, and both are just avoiding answering even the basic questions about why they're avoiding each other. Am I the asshole for assuming the worst? I really do not want to come off as insecure, but it is killing me from the inside. And the way OP described the story, I feel exactly the same, that something strange is going on here. The friend's behavior OP was mentioning about, if you ever find another Phil, you need to set her up, etc. The boyfriend having issues with Phil at the same time? Has she been mentioning Phil to him? Comparing them maybe? Obviously I don't know, I'm just throwing out ideas here. Either way, I think you need to just tackle this head on with him. You said that he tries to protect your feelings in the past, and at the moment he's not protecting your feelings because it feels like something's being hidden from you. So you just need to ask straight up, I think, what the hell is going on here? You know something's going on and you need to know what it is. Not like Q666 says, not the arsehole. Something for sure happened. Only question is exactly what. From what you said about her ex, never liking him and her asking you to set up a date with another version of him, that she may have always had a thing for him. Maybe she was drunk and she went for it. If you cannot find out on your own due to lack of evidence, you need to sit them both down together and confront them both and demand the truth. Opie says, I also want to do that, but I feel that if I am wrong, not only would I lose a friend, but Phil is also going to be upset that I'm accusing him of something horrible. I just feel in my gut that things smell funky, but I'm too scared to open the Pandora's box. Revolutionary Dot says, don't accuse him, just ask. Hey, you've been weird ever since the concert. What's going on? Are you upset I didn't go? Did something happen? I'm really starting to worry and I can feel you pulling away from me. I don't know what I did, but I'd like to fix whatever it is. Keep BFF out of it, only as a last resort. Be more worried about your marriage than the friend, but know you're running a risk of losing your marriage and / or your BFF anyways. You could always snoop through his phone, but that will cause damage too. Lopsided says, have you asked your other friend about the night and see if she knows anything about their strange behavior towards each other? You should confront them either way. Maybe not accuse them of cheating, but state that the behavior is not making you feel comfortable, and you'd rather not be kept in the dark if there is an issue or something helped to warrant their distance. Opie says, I talked to Jess but didn't directly ask her about any suspicious behaviors. She told me that they all had a fun time. She took the train home, while Phil and Dana went to the parking lot after the concert. So Opie updates the post and says, I posted last week regarding my husband and my best friend avoiding each other after they went to a concert together last month. I really want to thank you all for helping me in my time of need and helping me with my tech questions. Sorry for the long post, but I confronted Phil and fucking Dana and was able to know what happened. I was briefly able to get access to Phil's phone last Friday night. I did not have time to retrieve any deleted messages. However, thanks to someone's idea, I opened his camera gallery and went through the photos he took that night. One important thing that jumped out was Dana's outfit. Dana was wearing a white shirt and denim shorts to the concert. As it was an outdoor concert, she took off her shirt and was only wearing a blue bikini top. She had some glittering fake tattoos on her shoulder and back. By the end of the night, she was again wearing her shirt. So for the glitter to be on Phil's car seat and his clothes, Dana had to have taken her shirt off in the car. I was so angry and could not keep my cool anymore. I went and confronted Phil. He immediately broke down and started apologizing to me. He said that it was his fault that he took it too far and was feeling very guilty all month. He said that he did not want to tell me because I would have been very upset and he just wanted to forget it. I told him to tell me what happened in detail, and he did. He told me that Dana and Jess both got drunk during the concert. Phil had to hold Dana while taking her to the car. Dana slept in the car for an hour while Phil was driving. When she got up, she started playing music and singing loudly. At one point, she told Phil that it is hot in the car. Before he could lower the AC temperature, she took off her shirt. Phil said he was very uncomfortable at this point and asked Dana if it's okay if he drives to our house and she could sleep in the guest room, as her apartment would have added another 30 minutes to the drive. She insisted that she wanted to go home, so Phil took her home. As she got out, she asked Phil if he could walk her back to her apartment as she felt tipsy. After she opened the apartment door, she hugged Phil and said thank you. Phil said that he was sorry that the hug lingered too long and they had a moment. I had tears rolling down my eyes and I asked him if they kissed. Phil told me of course not, but he cannot describe it, but there was definitely a moment between them. He told me that Dana invited him in, but he immediately told Dana that he had to leave and made a run to the car. I kept on asking what happened and he just said they had a moment that he felt he could not control and just got out of there. After he came home, Dana messaged Phil that he should have come inside the apartment. Phil kept on telling Dana that it was an accident and to forget about it, But Dana kept on asking Phil if he is attracted to her and if he had a good time. Phil told Dana that he is not attracted to her and never will be, and told her not to tell me about it. She agreed and he deleted all the messages. He said that he sat on the sofa because they were messaging each other for a long time and he did not want me to hear it. I asked him if he could retrieve the messages and he told me he deleted them and also cleaned all his archive and sent messages. He just wanted to forget the incident ever happened. I showed him my post and thanks to a comment, we went to find the messages on the SD card. Phil was right and the messages were the same as what Phil described. I'm still very mad at Phil for not telling me about it in the first place. This is where it got super weird. I invited Dana for brunch yesterday and met her. I told her that I talked to Phil and he confessed to everything that happened the night during the concert. I asked her. I wanted to give her a chance to tell her side of the story. Dana immediately became defensive. The story was the same until they got to her apartment building. Dana said that she opened her apartment door, she gave Phil a long hug for a great evening. She said she could feel Phil wanted more, but nothing happened beyond that. I asked her why she invited him inside the apartment. She told me that she wanted to offer him some water and a snack as he was driving for a long time. I said that it's a really bitch move to invite my husband in her apartment at 1 AM at night, when she felt he wanted more from her than a hug. She said that I was just being jealous and crazy. We started arguing and she blurted out that she was not the one popping boners during the hug. I told her she is never going to see Phil again in her life and our friendship is done. She started shouting that she knows Phil loves her and he does not act on it because of me. She went on about how I'm always complaining about Phil and do not deserve him. She said that Phil has been so nice to her after the breakup and she feels he would leave me for her if he had a chance. She finally said that she could make Phil way happier than I ever could and he has started to realize it now. At this point I just wanted to avoid a blowout and walked away. I talked to Phil at night and what Dana said. He confirmed to me that he did become aroused when he hugged Dana that night, and he does not know why. Dana held his hand and invited him in after the hug, and he just ran towards his car. He said he feels guilty about it, but it does not mean he has feelings for Dana. He said he is very happy being married to me, and he would like to keep it that way for the rest of his life. Although I am relieved that nothing happened between them, it has been hard for me to process my thoughts. I feel mad at Phil for hugging Dana in the middle of the night when she's barely wearing anything. He should know better. On the other hand, I feel like an asshole myself that my best friend had a thing for my husband that I had no clue about and pushed both of them to go to the concert together. Chemical Ad says, I'm glad it's finally in the open. I'm also glad that your husband did not cheat, although if he had just been honest about everything instead of being dodgy, it could have saved a lot of stress. Your friend is a piece of shit though. Island Lord says, willing to bet on some level Phil feels like he did cheat by getting aroused. Lou says, involuntary boners are a real thing. My ex, who is still a close friend, told me he had a friend who got them from riding his Harley. A fact his girlfriend was very jealous of. Lol. Tactile or visual stimuli are triggers for most men, like your mouth watering when you smell your favorite meal cooking. The dick says ready, but his brain screamed, no fucking way. I think your friend has just been looking for an opportunity to hit on your husband. Subconsciously, he knew it and was on guard against it. She probably wasn't as wasted as she was acting either. Good for him, telling her hell no and booking it out of there fast. Many would have given in to temptation. Hopefully this incident leads to more open communication between you two. Writing and Romance says, based on his initial unwillingness to go to the concert, I wonder if this wasn't the first time she put him in an awkward position. Opie says, we talked about this. He said she never said or did anything like this before, but he also pointed out that the only time he's hung out with her before was when I was with him. Writing also replies that saying, I'm glad you got to the bottom of it. I have to admit, for some reason this story had my hackles up. Usually I can read these and be objective, but my gut was telling me your friend was being shystery. Opie says, Dana was a sister to me for all these years. It's always the people you suspect the least. I don't know why she would do it to me. It feels so horrible. Writing replies again saying she wasn't thinking about you. She was thinking about herself and only herself. She didn't care about you or him or anything. Drowning people pull others under. Now, I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And let's move on to another story. The story does have an update as well, and it's titled, "Am I the Arsehole for Getting a Wedding Cancelled by Sending a Video to the Bride? My uncle Jay, 28 male, is marrying Mel, 26 female. She's shy, so she never wanted a big wedding where she has to walk down the aisle, etc. She wants to elope with just him and her and also have a traditional wedding from her country. She's completely cool with doing things how she wants it. But Jay's mum, Amanda, wants the typical wedding. Mel conceded that she was okay with having an additional third wedding where Amanda could do all the planning and Mel would veto anything she didn't like. Cost-wise, it's no issue because the other two weddings are essentially free. The problem started when Amanda was showing Mel the bridesmaid list. There were going to be 7 bridesmaids and one of them was Jay's cousin, Letty, 27 female. Letty has been nothing but rude to Mel since the day they met. She constantly makes little digs at her, talks shit about her, and overall makes it clear that she does not like her. So Mel immediately vetoed it. Letty was in the room sitting with them during the veto and threw a fit, talking about how Mel is always rude to her. I can vouch for Mel and say that she never chooses to interact with Letty in any way, shape, or form. What she does do is whenever Letty makes a snide comment, she makes a direct comment back in response. So to an outsider, it might seem like Mel is being hostile, but to everyone in the family, it's a roll your eyes moment where we know Letty is the arsehole and Mel just isn't taking it. Letty tried to claim that Mel has been holding a grudge based on the first week of their meeting, but then Mel pulled out a video that I sent her of Letty shit talking about her just a couple of days ago. In it, Letty's calling her a bitch and saying stuff like she's not even that pretty, etc. Amanda sees this and immediately starts minimizing it, saying, "Oh, she didn't mean that," and so on. At this point, I think Mel has had enough because everyone in the family knows how Letty acts towards her, but they never take it seriously. They only slightly tell Letty off and are always trying to convince Mel to not take it to heart. So Mel says she's sorry, but the wedding is off. She's still going to marry Jay in the other two originally planned ways, but she's not going to do Amanda's version anymore. She says this all nicely as always, but Amanda is now crying. Letty's screaming at everyone and other family members are saying that Mel should learn how to take a joke. Days later, I said I was the one who sent Mel the video, and now a couple of family members are mad at me for getting involved. Was I the arsehole here? Letty won't talk to me because I'm a snitch, but I don't even like her anyway. I'm just upset that I indirectly caused Amanda to be upset. My mind's struggling to move past the 3 weddings. Is that like a normal thing? I've heard of like 3-day weddings in some cultures and stuff, but arranging but dealing with 3 separate weddings? Holy moly, even if someone else is dealing with it, you still got to turn up. And why does Amanda get to ask for this wedding in the first place? It's such a weird request. They're going to elope. No, I would like a more traditional wedding, so you have to have another one. I mean, I just say no. No, thank you. And the rest of it is just actions have consequences. Letty's talking shit. She got called out for talking shit. It's as simple as that. Fair play to Mel for just going that. We're just going to do what we want to do from now on. I would just say stick with Mel. But Beast of Worden says not the arsehole, and Mel sounds awesome. You've picked the right side to be on. Trust me, this wedding was doomed from before it began, and you didn't ruin anything. If anyone gives you trouble, remind them to take it up with Letty. Doomed. Whenever someone says doomed, I love it. Opie says, yeah, Mel is awesome, and I used to get along with Letty too. She used to be different. I don't really know when she started acting like this, but it wasn't noticeable until recently. It's starting to look like the 3rd wedding is back on though, because Mel feels bad about Amanda crying. No, don't do it, Mel. OP explains the 3 weddings and says, to be honest, I stretched it by calling it 3 weddings. The plan is to go to the courthouse, just them, and a week later have a traditional ceremony, not that big, from Mel's country. The only wedding-like event would be the one Amanda is planning. So OP came in with what they titled their update and said, thank you all for responding. I was feeling really bad that I had a role in all this. I made it sound crazy, but it's normally not this bad. It's just hard to explain all the nuances in a single post. Some things that kept coming up. 1, I have a big family. We're currently visiting extended family, and this group tends to be more argumentative. We all love Mel. 2. My immediate family is likely to notice Letty constantly insulting Mel because we're together more. Everyone here is defending her because they don't see them interact on a day-to-day basis. For them, it's just an unserious thing that Letty should apologize for and Mel should get over. 3. Jay isn't here right now. He's on a long-term trip. He doesn't know that all of this is happening yet. 4. Amanda didn't force Mel to have the wedding. They get along really well and Mel wanted to make her happy, so she said yes since it was a one-time thing anyway. Amanda was insisting that Letty be a bridesmaid because she would be the only immediate cousin who wasn't in the wedding party. She didn't want anyone to feel left out. Someone else's wedding? Oh dear. 5. Letty is Amanda's cousin's daughter. 6. Amanda isn't formatively crying. She's really nice and loves Mel too. Jay is our only son and weddings are big in our family. He'd be the first to not have a big one. I think the pressure of this, along with some other stuff that's happening, is stressing her out. She's a crier for most things. 7. The first 2 weddings are very small, like 20 people max. 8. The joke is related to other things that Letty says. As much as I don't like her, she's really funny, so people tend not to take the stuff she says seriously. It's only obviously she hates Mel to the people who see them interact often. 9. Letty did apologize after the video, but it was clearly fake. 10. Letty's upset at me because I recorded the video in secret. She and her mum were in the living room talking, and I could hear them, so I filmed it. Not a great move, I know, but it never made sense to me why she hated Mel so much, so I wanted to show Mel so we could laugh about it. Mel only used it when people tried to claim that she was saying no to the bridesmaid thing for no good reason. 11. I told everyone it was me because people kept asking who it was and I felt bad. 12. Letty does not have a crush on Jay. That's not how our family does things. Sorry that was so long. The real update is that I found out why Letty hates Mel. She's close friends with Jay's ex, who he dated for a long time. I'm not sure how long, but it seems like the ex thought Jay and her would end up together. Jay and Letty are close in age, so they were in the same friend group that the ex was in when they were younger. The third wedding is back on. Letty is not a bridesmaid and is saying she won't come. It's supposed to happen in October, so I'm not sure if anything will change until then, but I'm no longer going to involve myself. Jay's also coming back tomorrow, and he doesn't let anyone say anything bad about Mel. So we'll see what happens. Ah, dearie me, I'll see you all in October, shall we? 3 weddings though. I know OP said, 2 of them are smaller ones, just going to the courthouse trying to get married, but still, there's still stress to deal with, right? It just sounds quite exhausting. Maybe that's just me. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And as always, just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. Your love, your support, your time always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for being involved. I really do appreciate your time. So thank you. And I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.